Think about how people usually learn a new language. Most of the time, it's through apps where you're memorizing words, repeating phrases, or doing little exercises. And that works to a point. But then you get into a real conversation and it's suddenly completely different. It doesn't feel natural anymore because you're hesitating as you try to translate words and phrases in your head. That's a problem we kept coming back to when innovating this app. People aren't struggling because they don't know enough vocabulary, they're struggling because they don't get enough real conversation practice. And that's something most platforms don't really solve. However, our app is trying to address this issue.
So our idea was pretty simple. What if learning a language focused more on actual conversations instead of just practicing alone? That's what LinguaLink is built around. It's a mobile app where you connect with real people who are fluent in the language you're trying to learn, and you just talk. Instead of a classroom setting or formal lessons, our app has normal conversations the way you would in real life. This develops effective fluency.
The way it works is pretty straightforward. You create a quick profile with your interests, your goals, and when you're available. From there, the app will match you with someone who fits based on language, personality, and shared interests. This is important because it makes the conversation feel less forced. We wanted to make sure you're not just paired with someone randomly. Instead, you're talking to someone you're more likely to get along with. Each session is about 20 minutes, so it's not a huge time commitment, and we include conversation prompts to help get things started. That way you're not sitting there trying to figure out what to say next. Over time, after each session, people rate the interaction, which helps build a more reliable and consistent experience across the app.
Our app actually addresses the part of language learning that people avoid the most, speaking. Once you start practicing speaking a new language, learning it becomes even more rewarding. This can be really useful for students who need to practice outside the classroom, for people who've moved to a new country and need to get comfortable quickly, or even for professionals who need to use another language for work. But even beyond that, it just makes the whole process feel more real because you're actually interacting with someone instead of just working through exercises.
At the end of the day, language is something that you use with people. And right now, most learning tools separate you from that part of the process. LinguaLink brings it back to what actually matters: having conversations, getting comfortable, and improving in a way that feels natural over time. That's the gap we're trying to fill.